Okay.
Stand up, fight back!
What?
You should kill yourself.
I should kill myself? Why?
Is the White House trying to change the common definition of a recession because next Thursday the GDP numbers coming out are going to show that we've been in a recession?
We're not going to be in a recession, in my view.
All right. Yo, all right.
Protesters of all sorts at the event I was at over this weekend in Tampa for Turning Point USA. Joe Biden is changing the definition of a recession, when the numbers are going to come out on Thursday. A New York pastor got robbed of way more money than I thought pastors had. And a lot more coming up on this episode of Daily Caller Live. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Jobob. Daily Caller Live starts right now.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
That might be the only brown guy on earth named Jobob.
That is actually their name, Jobob.
Saying the Digi Bunker completely cut off from the outside world, except for you fine folks. My name is Jobob. This is Daily Caller Live. Thanks so much for tuning in on today. It is July 26th, the year of our Lord 2022. Well, we got some interesting stuff to get to. If you don't know, which you probably, maybe you do, we did the show live on Thursday from Tampa, Florida at the Turning Point USA Student Action Summit. There was a lot of protesting going on outside of the event, and I feel like we should talk about it because some of it was crazy. Actually, all of it was crazy. The entire outside, whatever happened outside was just bananas. I wanted to get to these particular crazy people first. Buddy of mine, fellow Turning Point USA contributor Drew Hernandez was out on the streets with... I'm trying to figure out how to describe this. There were several different factions of protesters protesting what was going on inside, supposedly protesting each other, while the majority of us are inside going, yeah, all of the people outside are crazy people. But Drew was brave enough to get out there and get spit on and punched and among many other things, and try to... I was going to say talk to these people, but this is a lot. Check out some of these clips. This is what was happening outside of the event in Tampa. Watch this.
Stand up, fight back!
Okay.
Stand up, fight back!
Guys, it's a real life NPC. Can you say anything else? What was that?
Shut the fuck up!
What's that?
I'm a trans gay man.
Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry, there's some swearing in there, which I think you're able to handle that. It's to be expected at these protester type things. If you weren't familiar with the term he used, people have been described as NPCs as people who just aren't actively active in what's going on in the world. Just kind of sitting there, drones. I do this. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Video game reference. Anyways, the last part was interesting. Okay, so trans gay man. Okay, that's a double reverse there. I'm not going to try and figure that out, but Drew and I were joking about that after because we were trying to figure out, wait a minute. Technically speaking, can I technically right now be a trans gay lesbian being a cisgendered straight male? Are those the same circular things? Let's play some more from these protests before we get into more of the longer, crazier stuff. Watch this.
You should kill yourself.
I should kill myself? Why? Why should I kill myself? Why should I kill myself, white liberal?
Okay, so that was the big video that went around all of the social media stuff too. So, so first of all, Drew Hernandez, by the way, clearly of Hispanic or Latinx culture, being told to kill himself by, as he describes her, a white liberal. So that's honestly, I was trying to get Drew on today. I think I mentioned that yesterday, and bottom line is I forgot to text him. I wish I could have remembered that, but a lot is going on outside of this that I was having to deal with, and I just flat out forgot. So sorry about that. Maybe we can get Drew on in the future. This one was what I thought was the funniest one. A white lady tells Drew that he needs to go back to where he came from because of racism, because I don't know, it's hilarious. Also, if you haven't already, would really, really appreciate it if you click the little like button or the little share button or comment, engage. What do you think about these people? Should they be, I was going to say, should they be allowed in polite society? But of course they should be allowed. Everybody should be allowed to have their opinions. But should they be held to the same standards of decency as the rest of the world? I'm not sure. Well, again, would really, really appreciate it if you click the little like button. Let us know what you think in the comment section. Really, really does help us out. Appreciate it. Here we go. Watch this. A white lady telling a Hispanic person to go back where they came from in the name of wokeism. Check it out.
What's that?
Florida doesn't want you. Go back to where you came from.
What is that supposed to mean?
Florida doesn't want you. You're a racist.
You're a white liberal. You're a white liberal racist. You're telling a person of color. You're telling a person of color to go back to where they came from.
Okay. So there's that. That's essentially it. You know, I don't know how you deal with the nuts other than, I don't know, expose the ridiculousness that is going on there. I'm trying to pull up some other footage, but let me see. We're having a little bit of some difficulties here. All right, here we go. So on Twitter too, I wanted to touch on this because I feel like, well, I didn't want to ignore it, essentially. Those protests, I think there were like 60 to 70 protesters calling myself, Drew, and Stephen Davis, and Anthony Watson, and all of the other people of color. I hate that term. It's very stupid. But American lovers who apparently have more pigment in their skin, racists. So that was those group of protesters. There was another group of protesters that is getting a lot of attention, and there's a reason why there's a lot of media buzzing to this. There were people carrying Nazi SS flags around. I don't know what they were there for. They were crazy people. They were saying, among several things, that the Jewish people inside, the people inside hated Jewish people, but also, I don't know why they were there. It was very confusing. I'll put my little conspiratorial hat on also. It seemed as though one of two things could happen. The timing was weird, right? The 60 to 70 super woke Antifa people who were there on the protests, why were they not engaging or butting heads with the Nazis? Unless, of course, they were both protesting the event, or they happened at separate times, in which case, okay, so the Antifa people left, and then the Nazis came. It seems kind of like a false flag operation here. But as you can see, nobody inside the Turning Point event agreed with anything that they were saying. Nobody condoned their presence being there. But for some reason, the lefty media, including the people on The View, were saying that, this is the base of the GOP. Dude, there were like 8 of them outside, and they were all dumb. And as you can see in this photo, some of the students that were in the Turning Point event confronted them and said, hey, you guys are idiots. Go away. We don't agree with you. We don't accept anything that you're just dumb. Just go away. But that didn't stop Whoopi Goldberg on The View from saying that they were let in and welcomed at the Turning Point event. Now, again, my opinion on all of this is all of the protesters that were protesting the Turning Point event were crazy people. I didn't come across any video or any footage of a normal person saying, hey, I disagree, which is fine. I'm cool with that. Everybody out there, whether they were whatever faction of protest they were, or if they were coordinating somehow to institute a false flag operation, I'm not sure. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying it was weird. Everybody out there was crazy. And I think everybody inside, the normal people that were inside, disavowed all of the protests going on outside. Should go without saying. Again, that did not stop Whoopi Goldberg from either just flat out lying or being ignorant. This is the question that we have for everybody. Let me know in the comment section what you think Whoopi's doing here. Is she just flat out lying? Or is she completely ignorant of the truth? Watch this clip.
Oh, I've got a legal note. The conservative group.
Sunny normally does this, but
I know. This is our knockoff lawyer.
Okay.
The conservative group Turning Point USA has condemned the group of neo-Nazis and said they have nothing to do with the organization.
Yeah, but where was DeSantis is what I want to know.
But you let them in.
President, open your
You
mouth.
let them in and you knew what they were.
Right.
So you are complicit. We'll be right back.
Cool. So that's just not true at all. The 5 to 8 people carrying Nazi and SS flags, and I don't know, maybe it was a couple more. I have no idea. I wasn't out there. I just have seen video clips of it. And because let me just get you started on how this all kind of got rolling. I posted a clip saying, hey, thank you, Turning Point. Thank you, Charlie Kirk. Thank you to the entire Turning Point USA team for having me out at SAS. It was a wonderful experience. I got to speak on the main stage. Technically, I mentioned this yesterday, technically it went Senator Ted Cruz, Governor Ron DeSantis, and then Jobob. Were they on different days? Yes, but we're not going to get into the minutia of that. I posted a thankful message of like, hey, this was a fantastic event. I had a blast. Turning Point does events better than anybody else that I've seen in any political movement, regardless, left, right, center. It doesn't get any better than those. And I got a bunch of people saying in the comment section saying, the Nazis are you. You are the Nazis. The 5 to 8 people that stood outside and weren't let into the event, clearly. But Whoopi Goldberg saying, you let them in. Okay, that didn't happen. That's just factually inaccurate. I was in there the entire time. I feel like I would have noticed the flags waving around, but such is the stupid drive-by media and Whoopi Goldberg, who, again, trying to figure out if it was ignorant, if she just didn't know, and she just, for some reason, thought that Turning Point would let in Nazis, which would be crazy and unthinkable, or 2, she's just flat out lying, because that didn't happen. What she said did not happen in any way, shape, or form. Which brings me to this. This is my favorite tweet so far. And this will make sense in a second. Let me make it bigger for people on the screen. Some guy named Mr. Newberg, Jeremy Newberg, tweeted and said, I'm less concerned with the Nazis standing outside the Turning Point event than I am the Nazis standing inside the event giving speeches. Kind of like this guy. That's me giving a speech. Apparently, I am also a Nazi/white supremacist. I've talked to so many people that are in the freedom-loving movement over the last couple months that I've been doing this sort of thing, and kind of just saying, at what point do we stop giving this sort of stuff any heed? And I don't know. I continually like making fun of this. I think I got... I ran into one group of protesters walking into the event that said, you're a vocal, or what is it called? Voice box. You're a voice box for white supremacy. I'm like, you know what? Sure. Me and the black guy are signs of white supremacy. There was a professor that talked about, and this is, hold on, wait. We're going to defend Joe Biden really quick. This is a shocker. Some professor came out and said, working while having COVID is a form of urgency, which is a form of white supremacy, which just goes to show you that everything is white supremacy. And I don't believe that Joe Biden working during COVID is white supremacy. That's just my thought. Maybe you disagree. The point I made, I think, on Newsmax yesterday was, apparently everything is white supremacy. And my friend Stephen Davis, the MAGA Hulk, hey, being black is a form of white supremacy. Anyways, thought that was fun. Interesting kind of take going on throughout Turning Point and all of that crazy awesome event. And just wanted to get out there and make sure people knew what was actually happening in case there was any doubt. I want to get to this. This is actually pretty interesting and kind of important. The Biden administration is attempting to, or even becoming successful at changing the definition of recession. This was from the Daily Caller. Let me see if I can find the specific article. The Biden administration preemptively downplayed concerns. This was actually over the weekend, by the way. Downplayed concerns about the state of the economy ahead of the second quarter GDP growth data in a press release set for Thursday. And according to some, sought to redefine what constitutes as a quote-unquote recession. Watch this clip from Joe Biden. Peter Doocy asked him a question. Joe Biden says, "I'm not concerned." Then we'll get to KJP, the White House press briefing room, when a reporter asks, "Hey, are you trying to change the definition of recession?" Some of these clips are a little bit long, but totally worth it. Also, by the way, if you haven't already, click the little like button, the little share button, or give us a comment. What do you think is going on in either these protests with Joe Biden? Try to bring some of these comments on. Sometimes you guys are very mean and use a lot of profanity, which I can't bring it on, but such is the nature of comments on the internet. But yeah, would really appreciate just engaging with the post in some way, shape, or form. Really, really does help us out. That being said, here is Joe Biden.
And Mr. President, we're getting GDP numbers on Thursday. How worried should Americans be that we could be in a recession?
We're not going to be in a recession, in my view. The employment rate is still one of the lowest we've had in history. It's in the 3.6 area. We still find ourselves with people investing. My hope is we go from this rapid growth to steady growth. And we'll see some coming down. But I don't think we're going to, God willing, I don't think we're going to see a recession.
So that is Joe Biden, again, talking about not seeing a recession. Now, just so you know, the way recession is generally defined is 2 consecutive quarters of GDP shrinkage. Whether or not you want to call that a recession, that's fine. It is. That's the definition of it. If I called this coffee mug a Ford Mustang, I am fully within my rights to do that. I'm wrong, but as I put this Ford Mustang down, that's just what it is. This is just a coffee mug. What is happening, probably ahead of the Thursday announcement, is a recession, whether or not you want to define it as such. GDP shrinkage 2 quarters in a row. That's what it is. Watch the White House press secretary try to explain that away in this clip. Check it out.
Next week's a very big week for the economy. So I read the CEA blog. Is the White House trying to change the common definition of a recession because next Thursday the GDP numbers coming out are going to show that we've been in a recession?
So let me say this, the strength of our labor market along with the other economic factors is what we generally see in a recession, or even is not what we generally see in a recession or even a pre-recession, because we're seeing the strength of the economy and the labor market. So that's really important to note there, because those are key elements as we talk about that, as folks keep asking us about that. So Americans across the country are back to work at a historic level. 21 states, the most in history, have unemployment rates at or below 3%. That is an important number to note. 14 states are now at their lowest unemployment rates since this series began in 1976. And last month, the unemployment rate was a new low in 8 states. So again, the strength of our labor market, along with the economic indicators, is not what we generally see as we talk about recession or even pre-recession.
But the growth of the job for the 3-month trend, the growth of job growth in the U.S. is shrinking, is decreasing, and 7.5 million people, a growing number, are multi-jobs, meaning they have to work more than one job to afford a living. So is jobs really a good indicator then?
Look, here's what I would say. We've always talked about the strength of our economy. We've always talked about how historic it's been, and we've always talked about the transitioning, right? The transitioning to more stable and steady growth. And so to your point about the job growth there, this is what we have been kind of stating for the past several months. Look, the economy created 1.1 million jobs in the second quarter. And around 375 jobs per month. Those are historic numbers. Those are, if you think about the 1.1 million jobs, we are back to where we were at pre-pandemic levels. So that is what we see as strength of the economy. Again, we're going to transition into a more stable and steady growth, and so we're going to continue the work that the president has set out to do to make sure that we continue to deliver for the American people when it comes to the economy. All right, folks.
All right, I'm not going to lie. I let that roll on probably way longer than I should have and needed to kind of get that. But the reporter asking the first question there was, hey, are you guys trying to change the definition of recession? Because like we just said right before that clip, the definition of recession is 2 quarters in a row with shrinking GDP, which is what everybody's expecting when the new GDP numbers come out. So that being said, I don't know. Whether or not the Biden administration says we're in a recession, if we are in fact a recession, seems to be meaningless because the definition is pretty standard and pretty set. They don't get to just change it and call it whatever it is that they want. Economic commentators frequently use 2 consecutive quarters of GDP growth as the rule of thumb that an economy is in a recession, according to Axios. There we go. That's from the Daily Caller's. That's from the Daily Caller quoting Axios. The economy shrank by 1.4% in the first quarter. President Biden's economic team argued in a blog post that even if second quarter GDP growth is also negative, it's still unlikely that it would indicate that the economy is in a recession, despite the fact that it is. So there is that. Let me see. Oh, I want to do this. There are so many things going on in this particular story. Have you seen this? A pastor in a Brooklyn church got robbed mid-Facebook live stream. Now, on its face, when you talk about that, it's horrible. You don't want people committing crimes really anywhere, let alone while it's live on a stream, let alone in a church. Not something you want to see. But one of the interesting components of this, which I feel like makes it like a curveball of a kind of a story, is the thieves got away with $1 million in jewelry on the pastor and his wife. They were wearing more than $1 million, I think, according to him. So I guess we can't really verify that specifically. $1 million of jewelry, which is a whole other thing. Now, look, I am against people getting robbed in any way, shape, or form. At the same time, I am curious, why does a pastor have $1 million worth of jewelry on him and his wife? Let's play this clip. Play this clip and let you see what happened briefly before I read what's going on here. This is, again, there's so many facets to this. New York City crime, a charismatic pastor with $1 million of jewelry, robbery on live feeds. Nobody gets caught as of yet. Holy cow, this is so much going on here. Watch this.
All right. Yo, all right.
If you're just listening, there's not a ton going on here other than thieves. You can see the gun people. Let's see, the gunmen walking through. Thankfully, nobody was injured. Bo's got an interesting comment here. Hold on. Another facet, another spoke on the wheel of this story. Bo said staged robbery. I don't know. I'm generally not a conspiracy theorist, especially when it comes to these sorts of big publicity stunt things. But this pastor has been on every single news outlet that will have him over the last couple of days, has released hours of him talking on Instagram. And I'm sure that given it was on Facebook, his insurance company would cover it. And knowing that NYC police have their hands tied by the DA, and soft on crime policies means they probably won't catch these people at all. I don't know. It's an interesting theory, Bo. I appreciate you throwing that in there. I don't know. Gail also says it was staged. People are too calm. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know about the judging that. I'm just saying, if it were, I can see that making sense from a financial standpoint and from a PR standpoint. You cannot buy the amount of PR that this pastor is getting. Deborah says, how many pastors or their wives has that much jewelry? Yeah, I don't know. I've been a churchgoer my entire life, and I've yet to see well, I won't go there. That's a little odd. That's a lot of coin for a pastor. I also, we won't go down that rabbit hole so far, because some people have different ideas about things. So anyways, a showy pastor who was in the middle of delivering a sermon and his wife were robbed at gunpoint of more than $1 million worth of jewelry in a Brooklyn church on Sunday, police said. The heist got caught on live stream video as a service. Lamore M. Whitehead, 44, a bishop at the Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries in the southeastern Brooklyn neighborhood, spoke about the armed robbery on Instagram, calling it an example of how the devil moves. Maybe you believe that, maybe you do not. The jewelry was taken from Mr. Whitehead and his wife, 38-year-old wife, the police adding that neither of them or any of the victims were injured. After the theft, which took place shortly after 11 a.m., 3 individuals fled on foot and entered a Mercedes-Benz vehicle. Organized crime, maybe? Maybe an inside job? Who knows? Let me see. There was one quote that I did want to get in here, too. He says, you did this to the church, yada, 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 yada. Oh, Mr. Whitehead also responded to the criticism of calling him flashy for his accessories and his Rolls Royce. Holy crap! This guy has $1 million worth of jewelry just wearing to church on Sunday as he pulls up in a Rolls Royce. I don't know about that. I don't know about that a lot. But, to each his own, I guess. Here's what he said. It's about me preaching, sorry. He said, it's about me purchasing what I want to purchase, Mr. Whitehead said. It's my prerogative to purchase what I want to purchase if I worked hard for it. That rubs me the wrong way a little bit. I don't know. What do you think about that? How do you feel about mega pastors? It's not just him. There are pastors out there with jets, with multiple jets. Their names are escaping me right now. But there are big name pastors out there that have a lot of money and spend a lot of money. That money being made by donations from the church, I have some problems with. I have less problems if they're writing and selling books or doing that sort of thing, but I think it's a sticky, complicated theological conversation in which we're not going to have time for right now. But yeah, that's it. Let me see if there's any comments in here that are worth bringing on. Wow, lots of hate for Joe Biden still in the comments section. Sally says, it kind of agrees with me. He says, this just looks staged. Again, not saying that it was, saying that it would make sense maybe if it were. Who wears $1 million worth of jewelry as a pastor? Yeah, dude, I don't know. That's weird to me also. And pulls up in a Rolls Royce. And also, just to have a blanket piece of clarity here, it's also weird when pastors own private jets. Again, that's just what I think. Yeah, people donating money for you to buy a jet is weird to me. If you don't think that's weird, I guess that's up to you, but it's weird to me. Anything else here that we can get to? You know what? That'll do it for us today. Kind of a long and sticky day. I know we were a little bit late to getting on here this morning because I wanted to bring all of the facets of this stupid protest stuff that were outside of an otherwise awesome event. Thank you, Turning Point. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, all the people that work at TPUSA for a fantastic weekend. You know what? Maybe if I remember to text Drew and see if he wants to come on and talk about his experience outside, being yelled at and spit on by all the crazy people that were marching and protesting outside. Maybe he'll want to do that. But other than that, maybe we'll just leave it there. And if anything comes up, we'll bring it to you. Joe Biden still's got the COVID. Any updates on that? We'll bring it to you tomorrow. Also want to kind of, I think we want to do a Ukraine update because I feel like what's going on there is gnarly. There's a lot of, dang man, Putin sucks, dude. He sucks a lot. There was one thing, what was that? Lindsey Graham and Bernie Sanders did like a town hall together, and I think the main thing that they agreed on is Putin sucks. And so if they can agree on that, I think we can all agree on that. Let me see. I think this is funny. Oh, never mind. There's an inside joke in the comment section that I get that none of you would get, and it would take too long for me to explain it, so I'll text this guy after. That's going to do it for us today. Appreciate you sticking around, tuning in, wherever it is that you're watching, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of the places we stream to. If you haven't already, click the little like button, the little share button. Also, give me a follow on any of your social media platforms. Just JOBOB pretty much finds you anywhere. Find me anywhere. Just the brown guy with the hillbilly backwoods Alabama name. Appreciate the support and the follow and all that sort of stuff. And I'm going to stop rambling. We will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Actually, probably earlier because I was very late today because of other reasons. Anyways, see you tomorrow, same time, same place. God bless America.